Today we're going to be starting quite possibly my favorite Metroid game, certainly my favorite Metroid Prime game as of now, being Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. I have only played this game in full once, and that was back when I streamed it on Twitch in the summer of 2021. It was definitely a bit of a learning curve, definitely challenging, definitely punishing, but once I eventually hit my stride with the game, and once kind of the game hits its stride too in certain areas, I found a lot to really like and respect about it. And I think a lot of the frustrations are going to be less so on a replay thanks to prior game knowledge. Although this is going to be much more limited game knowledge than with Prime 1, which I know pretty well, I think. Like, not as well as some people, certainly, but you know, you guys saw how I was able to kind of pull together the artifact locations mostly by memory and all of that, and kind of figure out a pretty efficient way to get through the game, which ended up with my fastest clear time by kind of a long shot. So with Prime 2, I don't have the exact number, but I think it took me around 15 hours, and that might have been in-game time, or that might have been the stream total. I don't remember at what point I committed that to memory, but somewhere around there. So as long as, you know, we clear it in less than that, I will consider that to be like kind of an improvement. And I would hope so, because there were just a lot of stumbling points. But without further ado, let's go ahead and launch in. I'll save hyper mode for a future playthrough, I think. Not that I have access to it now, but I could probably use some kind of code to unlock it or whatever. But anyway, it's funny, after the last stream, I kind of I felt compelled to jump back into Prime 1, but I held off. You know, I'll hold off for potentially a later date. What's up, Space Cowboy? I see you in the chat. How we doing? I'm good. No work today, which is, you know, kind of my usual schedule. I'm very fortunate in that I get to kind of craft my work schedule and all that. So, you know, ran some errands this morning. Took care of some stuff around the house. Dusted my computer for the first time in too long, like probably a month, at least. But yeah, dusted that out. So maybe we'll see some slightly increased performance. Maybe. I don't know if that's how that works. I'm just joking around. But yeah, I'm doing well. Doing well. Had a little caffeinated protein shake before this, which I have not been doing that regularly. With the exception of before these streams, to make sure that I'm like animated enough to do them and not exhausted. I do want to be absorbed into like what's happening on stream at the cutscenes and stuff like that too, but God, the music in this game, dude. This game is so fucking epic, man. But I'm so excited to play this again, dude. And like the early game can be a little rough going, but I think that's kind of my preference for a game that like improves steadily as it progresses, as opposed to a game that like has a strong start and then just like falls off really hard throughout the duration of it, right? Goat. Goat! Fuck yeah. But how are you doing, man? End of the week? I know sometimes you work weekends, though, so it might not be as cut and dry as, like, oh, off for the next 2 days, but I hope everything is well. Alright, so welcome to not Talon 4, welcome to Aether. You know, I did mess around a little bit earlier today with, there is like a hack of Prime Hunters for the DS that allows you to use more traditional mouse and keyboard support. I think it's called Melon Prime DS. So it's like, it's a fork of the Melon DS emulator that is kind of specifically made for Prime Hunters. Kind of like how Prime Hack is a fork of Dolphin, specifically made for the console Prime games. And that was pretty cool. I have a lot of fond memories of Prime Hunters. I'm not going to be streaming it or Federation Force for the sake of this playthrough. Federation Force I've never touched, but Hunters I have a lot of fond memories of, particularly for its multiplayer. I had a lot of fun with. And Prime 2 does have a multiplayer mode, but it is just, you know, everyone plays as Samus and stuff like that. With Prime Hunters, it was cool because all the different hunters had their different beams and specials and morph balls and stuff like that. It was very cool. And that was also Psylux's debut into the Prime universe, into the Metroid universe. And those little intro cutscenes for Prime Hunters are pretty sick, like showing them kind of, I would assume, on their homeworld, or at least, like, you know, it's just cool shit, man. Lots of potential there, right? Psylux is like the ultimate potential villain right now until we know more about him, but yeah, I don't know why I'm like suddenly scanning stuff when I usually don't stop to scan stuff. But then again, if I'm going to claim that this is my favorite Metroid Prime game, I should probably soak it in a little bit more. And what I do like, we are going to have a... oh, we do have boost ball. So yeah, so we're going to lose some of the powers that we had from the previous game. I guess Gravity Suit's already missing, but, you know, we have Morph Ball bombs, we have Boost Ball, we've got Space Jump, and some other stuff that is going to be lost. But not everything. I think you keep Charge Beam, you keep Morph Ball, you keep the Varia Suit. Not that it really, like, it's more of a visual thing in this case with that one, but... oh, it's fucking time, dude. God, this game's so sick. Get out of my way, you dumb spider bitches, dude. Oh, shit. The zombified Federation troopers? Oh, picked up Dragon Quest XI today? Nice. The only $20? Yeah, for sure. It must be a sign. It must be a sign in that case, right? There we go. So because I didn't get 100% scans in Prime 1, we didn't see the little teaser, but there is a teaser of, like, Metroid Prime awakening and becoming Dark Samus. Like, it's just like a slight teaser at the end if you got 100% in the first game. But that's basically what Dark Samus is. She's kind of like the Phazon from Metroid Prime, like, manifesting itself into a mirror image of Samus. There's greater lore implications beyond that I'm not, like, super knowledgeable on, but it's pretty cool nonetheless. Even though I don't know what to call Dark Samus, but, like, even though Dark Samus is, like, just kind of a conduit for, like, evil laugh.mp3, you know? And you'll see that a lot. But still a cool design. Yeah, so the Ing kind of jumps Samus. She loses some of her powers because of the power of Dark Aether. God, this game looks so fucking good too with this HD texture pack. God. I mean, to be fair, these games still look great, even if you just upscale them. But yeah, the texture pack definitely helps. Yeah, so I don't have bombs. We can go through here. Yeah, we don't have missiles either. Save room. Yeah, don't mind if I do, just in case. Finishing up audio for a vid. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, so that little speck, there's like a little black speck in the middle of the screen with Prime 2 and 3, I think specifically. It seems like it's not... I pasted in a texture that's floating around in like out on the internet that's supposed to cover that up. And it looks like it's covered up now, but in the cutscenes it's kind of still there, which is a little distracting. Not like a major deal, but just like slightly distracting. And, you know, I gotta say, like, I mentioned this at the end of my Prime 1 playthrough, but I do wish we got a chance to see and hear, like, the Prime 2 title theme and stuff like that, and the menu theme. That shit's so hype. Boom, 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 boom. It's so fucking sick. And with that said, I don't know that I've ever really seen Prime 3s, because I think I've only played Prime 3 via the trilogy. And granted, I haven't, like, played the GameCube versions of Prime 1 or 2, but I've seen and heard those menu themes, I guess? I don't know. I must have messed around with the GameCube version of 2 at some point, though. But maybe I'm just thinking about the multiplayer mode here, which has some of the, like, UI... Well, okay, the UI assets and stuff are also in this game, and I'll show you. The menus in this game are, like, kind of weird, but you don't really have to interact with them very much. Not the map. The map's pretty much the same. Yeah, it's like this weird, like... I like how experimental they got with this game in some ways. Inventory, and then it's like... It's very interesting. It's almost like molecular structure or something. Yeah, so you have like these... Yeah, update your translator file. So there's like a lore reason why you can scan open these gates. And those are kind of like more direct, you know, keys, and like that's a more direct lock and key system in addition to the power-up lock and key system that is famous in this series, right? I don't know if I can't be the only one who thinks this, but like I feel like Aether feels more like more like realized alien world than Talon 4 does. And I talked about this a little bit while I was playing Prime 1, but like I feel like Talon 4, for as cool as it is to explore and like how interesting it can be too, it just does feel really gamey in the traditional way. Doesn't have enough witty engineer. Oh my. Hey, it's Miles McKenzie from the famous game Metroid Prime 4. Welcome. Yeah, well, you know, I'm not gonna make a snap judgment about Prime 4 until I get a chance to play it, but yeah, we'll see. Prime 3 has its fair share of witty characters in it. You know, Rundus is cool and all. Wink, wink. But the ice puns, though. I remember that pissing me off slightly in my most recent playthrough. I'm gonna give Prime 3 a fair shake, to be fair. But yeah, at the same time though, Rundus isn't like following you around and shit, so like, yeah, fair enough. But yeah, we just don't know. We just don't know the extent at which Miles is going to be present, right? And some would argue that any presence is too much, and it's like, okay, fair enough. You're welcome to that opinion, right? I shouldn't be speaking like this with with the Miles McKenzie in my chat, but you know what I'm saying. Shit. Oh, I thought that was hostile, but I guess it was targeting the aliens first. That's a nice touch. Yeah, through here. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I want to save as much Prime 3 talk for when I'm actually playing it, but the fact that Rundus is like the ice guy and he's literally like, you're gonna be pleasantly surprised as your redemption arc might warrant a spinoff. Hey, fair enough, man. Fair enough. We need more counterbalance to the Miles McKenzie discussion, right? I'm trying to keep an open mind, you know. All right, some exposition, some silent exposition, but well, kind of with text. While on patrol in the Dasha system, we engaged in unknown space. I couldn't read that fast enough. The enemy frigate was crippled and it crashed on the planet Aether. 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 We followed the pirates, but our ship was damaged by a storm as we entered Aether's atmosphere, akin to what Samus just encountered. Of course. Was that like... That was like a weird little glitch thing. I don't know if that was the game or what. Heavy magnetic activity during the storm, something. Split into 2 units, one set up an op space, the other to repair the ship. This text is going by really quick. Each unit was doing fine, no problems. I could read this silently quicker, but I'm trying to read out loud until they appeared. Just don't ask Shadow the Hedgehog to identify the assailants. Damn, I actually didn't realize there was actual spoken dialogue in these cutscenes. Yeah. Let's get our missiles. I think this is one of... This is not the only upgrade that you kind of just get randomly like this. Most of them you get from, like, Ing Guardians that, like... that are actually utilizing your powers. I do find it a little odd, like... Why would the missile system not be, like, on the ship or something like that, right? You could argue that it's like, oh, the Federation had, like, a spare missile system or something, right? I gotta get better at, like, dodging in this game, too, because the combat is much more challenging. Or just the encounters are more challenging. I do need to be careful. Especially if I'm going to try to make progress in Dark Aether without standing around forever. Do I need to scan this to open it? Oh, okay. Yeah. Let's take the map data. Alright. I mean, it's pretty straightforward on where to go for now. That's like blocked off by a dark beam thingy. There's like missile doors and stuff. I don't even think I need to refer to the map very much right this second. But yeah, I feel like the missile... I guess there's potential for players missing it, but also like you could just as easily miss it because it just looks like another container. But I mean, it's a different looking container, but you know what I mean. Also, even though we can't get up there yet, we'll just open that door. Unable to interface. Or is there a way up here? Am I so congested all of a sudden? I think I go back to that other missile door, probably. There's no reason to refer to the map. Refers to the map. Yeah, I feel like I actually am supposed to backtrack. And worst case, even if there's nothing in that room, we can just figure it out. Again, I don't know this game as well as I do Prime 1. Ah, and this is closed. Secure, okay. So, yeah. So that makes the decision for me in that case. So then the question is... I'm clearly not intended to go up there. Just because there's not like a ledge for me to jump on. So there must be something around here then. That's too high. Let's get this lore. Now, seek individual log entries in trooper armor suit systems. Let me look around the ship one more time and just see if there's anything else worth... Oh, this is it. There we go. Power restored. Oh, right, and then this is like a... Nice. There's something worth getting over here. Powerbomb door. Okay. The hell? Oh. Try to scan enemies. Particularly if there's info on like which beam is more effective. I mean, it should be more obvious to me now. I remember in my vanilla playthrough, like it's like the space pirate troopers are supposedly weak to the dark beam, but they kind of look like they are dark aether creatures, so it's like confusing to me in that. It was confusing to me in that way. Because the kind of, I don't want to say common knowledge, but kind of the suggestion with dealing with those troopers is a dark beam charge shot to freeze them in place, and then you use a missile to destroy them. But we'll have to see, because I'm gonna have to get the dark beam and stuff first anyway, and then we'll figure it out from there. I feel like I should destroy these nests. There's another one. Okay. Yeah, this... Yeah, and then I need to use the launcher. I I need to use the launcher, I think, to break it the rest of the way. And I seem to remember there being a scannable something or other. There it is. It's like it was somewhere around here. Yeah. And yeah, I just think starting Samus out with more abilities, like, yes, you want to dole out abilities throughout the game, and this game does a great job of that too. Very interesting, experimental, but still useful. I love the screw attack in this game in particular. I think there's more use for it than people give it credit for. It just, you know, it takes a little bit of finesse to, like, make use of it. In terms of your timing and all of that. But not having Samus start at literally square one, given we have the charge beam, we have the morph ball, get missiles like really quickly, and granted you get them quickly in Prime 1 as well, but it just allows for more interesting enemy and level design sooner. Oh, damn it. Well, go to make a save. Why does it take 30 years for that notification to show up? Alright, so we got a little mini boss fight here. It would be kind of cool, maybe ambitious for the time, but it would be kind of cool if, like, you could use your scan visor during cutscenes or something like that, right? Like, not that you necessarily have to, but sort of akin to, like, think like Metal Gear Solid 3 when you have those opportunities in cutscenes where you can, like, view different angles or whatever if you hold the right bumper, I think it is. I think that would be interesting. Alpha Splinter. Master Splinter, what are you doing? You look different. Shit. Yeah, I'm playing like shit. Forgive me. I need to get better at strafing, although there's a particular boss where I need to be, like, really on point with that in Torvis, but... yeah, I'm out of missiles, unfortunately. And I can't tell if it's vulnerable or not. Oh, and now the actual fight starts, I see. He missed timing my charge shots. Nice. I thought this was Tekken 8 for a second with the arena. It's funny. Dude, Samus as a guest character in a fighting game would be pretty sick. Although, granted, she's more of a ranged fighter, but, like... hey, Link was in Soul Calibur 2? Granted, only on GameCube because, yeah, Nintendo is so stingy with that kind of shit, but... it would be cool, though. Imagine, this would never happen, but imagine Samus in like Mortal Kombat or something. It would be so sick. Would never in a million years happen. Unless Nintendo decided to suddenly be cool. But they're not. As a company, I mean. They're lame. Lame. Asking for a Zero Suit. Yeah, Zero Suit would be... Yeah, that would have been cool in one of the older Soul Caliburs, yeah. That would have been sick. I still think Link being a guest character in Soul Calibur 2 is pretty sick. Because I love seeing that kind of stuff in general when, like, wasn't Master Chief a guest character in some fighting game, maybe? Or maybe I made that up. I know Geralt was in a Soul Calibur game. Darth Vader and Yoda as well, and stuff like that. It's cool. I haven't seen a Soul Calibur game in a while, though, so... unfortunate. Do not be afraid, I am Umos, Sentinel of the Luminoth. Please listen and hear of our world's peril. Long ago, a cosmic object fell to our planet Aether. Exploding with great force, a rift was torn in time and space, and a strange power flowed over the world. Where once there was one Aether, there were now two, one of light and one of shadow, each existing in its own dimension. It was the end of peace on Aether, for a new race was born that day on the Dark World. One filled with hate and terrible power. They are the Ing. The Ing are creatures of shadow and darkness, knowing nothing of peace or mercy. For decades we stood against them, yet we now lie on the verge of defeat. When Dark Aether was born, our planetary energy was divided, half for our world and half for theirs. Should one world gain control of this energy, the other will perish. Notice how she hasn't put her freaking gun or her arm cannon down. She's still on guard. On some business. Yeah, there she goes. Goat. Before you arrived, the Ing had stolen a device from us. One that collects planetary energy. With it, they have weakened our planet to the verge of collapse. But fortune smiled upon us this day, for the energy transfer module is now bonded to you. With it, you can help us restore our world. You're our only hope, Samus. Should we fall, the Ing will look to the stars for new planets to ravage and conquer. Your species could be their next victims. The Ing have taken our energy to 3 temples on Dark Aether. Find these temples and transfer the energy from them to our own. I have updated your map system with the location of another temple. There is knowledge there that can help you on your way. I've also updated your translator module. You can now access devices and doors coded with violet holograms. Many lands are now open to you. Prepare well for your journey. The Ing now know you possess the energy transfer module. They will try to recover it at all costs. Return to me once you have restored the energy to a temple. I will aid you as I can. May the light of Aether shine upon you. Goat. My little bug friend. Or big bug friend. Big bug friend, holy shit. Indigenous sentient species of planet Aether. This shit is so sick, dude. So this is our hub, right? So just for those who are like not super familiar with this game. So we have the temple grounds, and this is the Great Temple. We kind of come back here and we gain access to like new prongs of the world. Because you'll see, again, because this is probably the least played Prime game, yeah. So I want to you know, use this as an opportunity to just showcase what makes it so great, and also probably debunk some of the things that people criticize it for. It's challenging and punishing, and yeah, like it's a harder game. It's more obtuse. It's yes, but I think that some of the criticism is in bad faith, or maybe not in bad faith, but like misinformed, I guess is a better way to put it. I think unintentionally misinformed when it comes to like the ammo system and how that works and like the backtracking and stuff like that. I guess we'll see. Again, I'm not as familiar with this game as Prime 1, so I think it's easier for me to criticize Prime 1 for certain things than it is for this game, which I've only played through once, so again, we'll see. I'm open-minded to reevaluating things as needed. But I sometimes think that this game isn't given a fair shake from certain people. Not anyone in particular, but just kind of like in general, right? And then it becomes a Wind Waker scenario where maybe not that extreme, because I don't think this game had backlash at launch. I think it was just overshadowed by like Halo 2 and, you know, other things that were happening in the FPS space at the time. Mostly Halo 2, but and understandably so. I'm not gonna like Halo 2 is obviously a legendary game, but I guess like at the same time, what was I gonna say? I think that some of the, you know, a game kind of becomes the underdog, and then the people who loved it become more vocal, and then it becomes the more prominent fan favorite game, and then, you know, you're pushing, like, praising a game that might not be for everybody, and then people who the game is not necessarily for or gonna click with try it, and then they're like, I don't see the hype, and so it kind of becomes like it's this big pendulum swing, and that's always how things are, right? Can I just ignore these guys for a second? I don't have missiles, that's why. Okay. Yeah, so I probably should have tried to take care of these guys before they got powered up. Maybe I can get some missiles out of these. No, unfortunately not. Because, you know, you overcorrect, you overswing the conversation towards being positive towards a game that was previously criticized more heavily, I will say. Not like shit on, but just like similar to with Wind Waker, which I think Wind Waker was even more unfair, I think, because a lot of the criticism early on was like the graphical style, because, you know, early 2000s hyperrealism, right? Wind Waker has many issues beyond its graphics. Its graphics are one of its best qualities, in fact. But more on that for a later date, and people who have been long viewers of my channel will know that I think Wind Waker's a great game, but it has there's aspects to it where I'm just like, I think it's become a little bit too I think the pendulum swung too far in the other direction a little bit in terms of the praise, like overcompensating because of the unfair backlash. Like, I get it, but yeah, this game, it's not quite to the same degree, because again, it was just kind of overshadowed and like overlooked, I guess. Not really outright like hated or anything like that. Yeah, okay, yeah, this is the way. Anyway, onward to Aegon Wastes. Also, is this this must be the first Metroid game where you can like fall out of bounds. I don't think you instantly die, I think you just take a little bit of damage. But there's usually not such thing as out of bounds in Metroid games. Like, you have hazards and stuff like that, like, you know, lava pools and stuff like that, but there's like not really void outs in most Metroid titles. Prime 2 and Prime 3 might be the only ones, actually. I'm trying to think, like in Prime 1, I don't think there's really an opportunity to void out. Alright, welcome to Aegon Wastes. the first and admittedly least interesting of Prime 2's locations. And this is coming from someone especially who, like, isn't usually the biggest fan of desert areas. I guess depending, though, because, like, I think about Zelda and, like, the desert-themed dungeons tend to be some of the best ones. Arbiter's Grounds, Earth Temple in Wind Waker, Stone Tower, right? Spirit Temple as well. Yeah, so, like, desert-oriented dungeons, I guess I tend to be a fan of, but, like, just, like, big, vast, like, desert landscapes are usually not my favorite, assuming that you're going to be there for a long time, right? I think about, like, Twilight Princess's desert, or even Ocarina of Time's desert. It's like you don't really spend that much time in the desert proper. It's just kind of there as, like, a set piece, right? Yeah, I think... Well, I guess we don't need Boost Ball to actually move through this. It would make it faster, but... Let's see if this is actually, like, worth it, though. I don't... Yeah, it's just, like, the plant life and stuff like that. It's... Blue Root Tree. Highly poisonous. Venomous leaves found on several worlds in desert climates. Okay, so... And then are these, like... That's just what these trees look like. They're just, like, translucent, like... That's very strange. Okay, there's a missile tank, but... Alright, I wasn't supposed to go here, apparently. That's like a back exit. I think I know where that room's at. Yeah, I think we're supposed to follow this. It's a little strange they even let you go up that way without Boost Ball. Save room, I think... What if I push up the upper way, right? Doesn't this take me to... the transport room? No, I'm thinking of something else. Well, I mean, yes, it does, but it's like the back entrance that I don't have access to right now. Okay. Need space jump. Which we don't get until Dark Aether. Okay, so I need to figure out where I can even go. Like, that's just a one-way, one-shot. So there must be, like, some other path that I'm missing. Like, some jump that I can make that I didn't realize I could. Aha. This way. There it is. I'm just soaking in the atmosphere. Again, I don't know how well these games lend to streaming just because... they're very atmosphere driven, and so while I do want to keep an eye on chat and everything like that, it is one of those things that can take me out of it. And if I get sucked into what I'm doing here, I probably won't be talking as much. But it should still be an interesting ride, especially for those who haven't played this game and are interested to see some of it. I do still highly recommend checking this game out, just because I think a lot more people have played the first game. And to me, it's kind of strange to... Well, okay, granted, this game has been, like, less accessible, right? It didn't get a remaster on Switch and all that. But I do think it's a little strange to, like, play the first game in a series and then, like, there's a very iterative sequel. You know, experimental, but still iterative. That people, like, don't want to go out of their way to play or whatever. Granted, the onus should more so fall on Nintendo for not making this game accessible. Okay. See if I can get a lock on. There we go. Yeah, I think it's a full charge shot plus a missile is the play. Bum ba dum bum bum. But yeah, this game definitely makes you feel more underpowered for longer, though. Despite having some of the upgrades up front, which I was just praising for, but just like in terms of combat ability, I guess. We still only have 5 missiles. See what's over here. Recording to logbook. Yes, this is the teleporter. So we need to activate this. Yeah, this game takes even more direct inspiration from the 3D Zeldas than Prime 1 even did. And the inspiration there was pretty clear. And when I say that, I'm like, I don't have any, like... Oh, whoops. Yeah, we don't have bombs yet, so we need to fight... I need to find the Bomb Guardian first before we can activate this. Can I get that missile expansion that was over here, though? Oh, yeah, there's a Dark Aether bomb thing. Okay. So we're here a little bit early. I believe. Oh, there's the missile tank. So I just need to, like... Nice. Just doubled our missiles there. What was I saying? Oh, Zelda inspiration, yeah. I mean, like, most 3D action adventure-esque games, which I know that genre is, like, such a nothing burger of a statement, but... You know what I mean when I say that, right? So it's like... 3D games with an emphasis on, like, exploration, like Zelda and Metroid. Since a lot of the Zelda games are, like, they have a lot of Metroidvania elements to them, even though that is mostly relegated to the dungeons as opposed to the world itself. But sometimes the world itself, like A Link to the Past, it's like you can use the hookshot to get around and stuff like that, you know? But yeah, like, Ocarina of Time was such a revolutionary game in a lot of ways that, or at the very least, even if some of the mechanics weren't invented by it necessarily, it was very influential, right? So, no doubt Metroid Prime took inspiration from that alongside, you know, prominent FPS games at the time like Half-Life and, obviously 2D Metroid and stuff like that too. Although I do not agree with the sentiment, I'm going to put this out there, I do not agree with the sentiment that Prime 1 is basically Super Metroid in 3D. I'm like, what, in the way that you're in a jungle area and... Like it's like, not really, though. Super Metroid is like the most flexible game, or one of the most flexible games in the series, whereas Prime has more flexibility than this game, for instance, but like, it does not have the flexibility of a 2D entry. Shit. Yeah, the hitbox on this thing is like a little strict. There it goes. Damn. Unsure if I should be missiling this thing for more efficient damage. It kind of seems like maybe. Shit. Damn. I definitely could have done more efficient cycling there. I think it's unusual for it to have, for a boss in one of these games to have such a sliver of health for an additional cycle. It's definitely my playing ability that's limiting things. Also, I'm not always getting the strafe when I'm intending to, but I think part of that is that there's a little bit of cooldown on it. Bomb Guardian defeated. And yeah, I think not only fighting these bosses, but the flavor of these bosses, and also the narrative implementation is just, like, more interesting in this game. It's like, okay, the Ing stole your power-ups, and so you fight the Ing that are specifically using those power-ups against you to get them back. Right, and that makes them interesting to fight, too. Whereas I think one of Prime 1's, like, weakest elements, I think, is its bosses. Okay, this is it's probably bombs, right, to destroy this? Yeah, that makes sense. That would make sense, because otherwise you could just leave the arena. No shit. Okay. Light beam door on that side. Is this a dark beam door? I just need to refamiliarize myself with the color coding. Yes, okay. So, like, that gray color is dark beam, and the white is light beam. There's, like, seeker missiles and super missiles and all that kind of stuff. So now we can... Okay, that also gives us access to Spring Ball. I want to keep that in mind. I did first try Bomb Guardian when I first played this game. It was stressful, and I almost died, but I did, and I don't think I used Spring Ball at all, because I actually forgot that that was a thing in this version that you kind of just have access to once you have bombs. As, like, an easier means to gain height as opposed to bomb jumping. Okay. Right, so now we need to go activate... Now we need to go activate the dark version. We need to activate the portal and, like, make our way to this transmitter, this module in Dark Aether. Welcome, I am Aisha. I'm assuming that the letters at the front are just, like, you just pronounce them like the letter. As opposed to Isha, I think it's like Umos. Or is it Umos? I would assume it's Umos and then Aisha. Sentinel of the Aegon Temple. This message survives my death, as guidance to one who would fight the Ing. A portal to Dark Aether lies nearby. With it you can travel to this land's shadow. You must locate a dark temple, a twisted mockery of the sacred place. Inside you will find the energy controller you seek. And we need the key. That's right, we need the dark keys. Yeah. The temple door is held fast by 3 locks. The keys for these locks are hidden throughout that dark land. Your search will be difficult. Even the very air of Dark Aether is dangerous and can cripple the strongest of warriors. Yeah, Dark Aegon is... It might be the hardest section of the game just because of the health drain. Or the speed of the health drain. In our past struggles with the Ing, we placed a series of light crystals throughout their world. They remain today. These crystals create safe areas that will protect you from the harmful atmosphere of the Dark World. You can now access doors coated with amber holograms. Right, so we get the energy from the Dark Temple. We have to come back to the Light Temple to restore it. Then we go back to the temple. The, whatever it's called. I should get my terminology straight. The Great Temple. We go back to the Great Temple. Report our, what we've done to Umos, which he knows by the time we get there. And then give us access to Torvis, etc., and so on. Okay. But yeah, I guess my point on going back to the Zelda inspiration thing, like Metroid, like the Metroid Prime games are largely, I think I explained this in the past 2 streams somewhere. that it's kind of like, what if a Zelda dungeon, a 3D Zelda dungeon, was the entire game, you know? Interestingly enough, Skyward Sword kind of does some stuff like that. In terms of, like, it's like overworld exploration, if you want to call it that, being akin to being kind of dungeon-like, you know? So we can access amber holograms, which would make us go this way, or allow us to go this way. But I think this game, like, leans into that aspect even more, because you're not given access to the entire... Well, okay. Metroid Prime, you are gradually uncovering, like, an interconnected world, whereas here, it is more or less, you go to Aegon, you do the stuff in Aegon, you go to Torvus, do the stuff in Torvus, go to Sanctuary Fortress, do the stuff in Sanctuary Fortress. You do have to double back to previous areas for Seeker Missiles and for Power Bombs. But I think that's pretty much it. Like, they are much more self-contained, but still connected. But yeah, by and large, like, once you're done with any given area, like, you don't really have to... Okay, so I need to turn around and access this door. It is more segmented, which in my opinion leads to less backtracking, which is what confuses me as far as people's criticism of this game having the most backtracking. I'm like, I mean, I guess, yeah, you have to go between the Light World and Dark World, but I don't really consider that backtracking in the traditional sense. Like, I mean, we'll have to feel things out, I guess. I do agree that the cutscene for going from Light to Dark World is longer than it needs to be. Shit. And that can get tedious. That being able to skip through that would be kind of like a major benefit. Shit, okay. I think I need to remap missiles because it's on F right now, so if I'm strafing to the right, it's a little bit difficult for me to hit that button at the same time. But I do kind of like lock-on being on right mouse as opposed to shift. So what? I could put it on middle. I could put it on a middle mouse button. Maybe that would be... I'll figure it out. I need to... I don't feel like Prime 1 really demanded so much that I needed to really hone my skills at the controls, so like, I think this game's gonna force me to reevaluate some of the mapping. A morph ball puzzle. Nice. Oh shit. God damn it. I didn't realize I could go out of bounds there. Oh, I have to go... No. That's my bad. I should have been holding against the wall more. Let's try this again. Just gotta hold W while you go left to right. It's pretty manageable. Oh, I see the issue. Oh, shit. Alright. And this channels the light, which powers the teleporter. We can Super Mario Sunshine our way in there. Yeah, I think either making this cutscene skippable, not just this one, not just the powering up at the portal, but also the transportation. Either making these skippable or making like a faster variant. I mean, you don't have to watch this full thing every single time. It's mostly for this first one, but like once she actually enters. This cutscene. Like, it's cool and all, but like if there was a faster variant or you could skip through it without triggering like a extra long loading time or something, that would be kind of ideal. Alright. I hope that I saved recently, because this can get dangerous really quickly. Then again, I have a better idea of what I'm doing now than I did previously. Alright. Yeah. So I'm gonna try to like get health drops from... Yeah. From the breakables as opposed to trying to rely on the safe zones. It's one of those things that, like, the way that Dark Aether functions is very punishing to new players, more so than people who are familiar. Because if you're familiar, you probably know, like, how far you can push things, right? Like, just how far you can go while staying safe. And all of that. But as a new player, if you don't know where you're going and, like all that kind of stuff, all the things that come with being a new player of a game, it is a system that, like, then kind of forces you, in quotes, to stand around here while you heal up. I'm gonna try to keep moving as much as I can. We'll for sure make a save here. But yeah, not only does this game take more direct Zelda inspiration in that each area is kind of like yes, it is one interconnected world and stuff like that, but it does feel more like, okay, we're in the Aegon Wastes dungeon, right? And there's a light world and dark world variant, kind of like, you know, certain Zelda games, A Link to the Past in particular, utilized, right? So we're full on missiles, we're full on health. I just saved. Should be good to go. See if I can, like, push... Yeah. And the layout is the same from Light World to Dark World, the difference being... Is this Space Jump already? No, this is just a regular warrioring. Also, I am playing the Trilogy version with, you know, mouse and keyboard controls, so, like, obviously there are some things about this game that were much more challenging in the GameCube original, given the way that that game's controls function. right? Like when the warrior ing, like those guys turn into goop, you can't target them. And so like trying to free aim in order to hit enemies like that in the original release, definitely much more challenging. There's a light portal. We have to go the long way around. Go this way. Yeah, I'm gonna just see, like, it might result in some, you know, some game overs here and there, but I would rather risk that in the name of trying to go a little bit faster and more efficiently than to stand around and be safe as much. And I think I want to say that this game rewards you more for being risky in that way. Oh, hold on, I think I can get this. I think you have to more traditionally bomb jump though, so like... Oh no, you need spider ball, never mind. Like maybe, could this be doable? Like, I'm trying to think, because you're limited to 3 bombs at a time. So I'm like, if you place one here and then place one here again, but then... Yeah, I'm not skilled enough to do it if it is possible. I'm much better at bomb jumping in the 2D titles. Yeah, I had heard about that. About the new Silent Hill movie. I think it's the same director who did... I think it's the same director who did the first one, which some people like. So see, this is Space Jump Guardian. Yeah. Give me that Space Jump early. Before our first major boss, even. Yeah, Jump Guardian. That's right. Shit. And what's nice about this fight, at least to start, is we are in a healing zone. I almost can't tell if my missiles are, like, landing. Clearly that one bounced off. Yeah, it kind of seems like missiles don't work on this guy, but maybe I'm, like, misconstruing something. No, I think they might work, but you have to land it on his eye specifically. I don't really feel like I'm in much danger here. I don't remember this fight being particularly threatening. But he might destroy... I'm trying to remember if he, like, destroys this, crystal here. It would be interesting, like, if... And maybe it is like this, correct me if I'm wrong. Like, if hard mode, like, removed some of the safe zones or something, right? Like, I always find it interesting when higher difficulties alter level design, even in, like, subtle ways, as opposed to just making number go up in terms of enemy damage output, or making number go down in terms of your damage output, or both, right? Shit, I didn't get the lock on, that's why. Yeah, did I finish my thought earlier when I was saying that this game rewards you for being more aggressive? I think that's true. And I think, like, that's a pitfall that it's easy to fall into, right? In terms of more challenging games. Is to try to play more defensively, but... And, like, yes, maybe in certain cases, it's not a blanket, it doesn't apply to everything, obviously, but... It's nice when games reward you for aggression, especially challenging ones, because... Playing defensively doesn't always feel like the most fun, I guess. But it definitely depends. Obviously, of course... Ideally, you want a game that, like, kind of has a balance of both. But, you know, consider that the last time I played this game was in its exact form. It was on Veteran, not Hyper Mode, and it was with this same control scheme, albeit with some stuff slightly altered. Hold up. That was back where I came from, right? Yeah, gotta remember where you came from. Time to use that joke again for a million times. More than it needs to be made, but a little hit of lag there. Yeah. Space jump is fucking goated. And we want to be exploring because we want to find these keys in addition to... Although... I forget if I have to scan this to spawn them in, or if this just gives me an indication... Yeah, it just tells me that we need keys, and it's like, wow, thank you. Okay, so... I'm trying to remember, I died here once. In my previous playthrough, I died here. So I need to be careful. But it's worth it because one of the Dark Temple keys is literally right here. I think on the other side, there's something blocking. Like, I think I just don't risk going around the other way. Because I think what happened was, like, I got this key, I went around this way to try to find something there, and there was a blockade that I either couldn't get through, or I couldn't get through in time, or something, in order to make it back safely, and then I had to fight Space Jump, or Jump Guardian again. What I want to do is I want to make my way back to that save room, I think, just as a... Oh, it's pretty far, it's further back than I remember it being. That's a super missile door, so I can't do anything about that. Dark beam door. So I think the intent is actually to take this back. Now that I have Space Jump, I can do more stuff in Light Aether, I want to say. Which is much less threatening, so I think that should be the play. And we'll destroy these for a few... Oh, those are big health drops. So, like, we're already chilling. See, notice how... it's almost as if destroying the destructibles in this game benefits you. Interesting. Interesting. I wonder if there's another system in this game then that has you wanting to break the destructibles in order to handle your resources better. I wonder. We'll talk about the ammo system later. Right, I already activated that that bomb switch. I think what I want to do is I want to head back. I'm pretty sure, because there's nothing... There's a dark beam door, there's a super missile door. Like, maybe this is something, but I have Space Jump, so I think... Yeah, like, there's some higher doors, and, like, there's definitely stuff I can do in Light Aether, so I vote we head back. I don't necessarily know if I would count this as backtracking, though. Like, this is just, like, making progress. But I think that's because I don't consider Light and Dark Aether to be, like, separate areas in the same way as you would backtrack through Magmor Caverns or something, which I find much more annoying. Here it's like, I guess technically you're backtracking to the Light World, but it's for the sake of, like I was saying, for the sake of making progress. I think I'm going to try to ignore these guys and try to not take much damage, yeah. Nice. Boost ball. Boom, 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 boom. Nice missile expansion. Pretty lit. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, wait, I can get a scan on these guys again, maybe. Yeah, nice. Yeah, it's nice that it saves your previous scan progress and all of that. Okay, so... Wait a second. These look bombable, but I don't think it is anything. I don't think it's anything, like, noteworthy. So now we're here. Yeah, that way. Because then there's a portal over that way. Yeah, I think that has to be it. We'll make a save. Save probably more frequently in this game just because it's more threatening. And I actually don't feel like many of the bosses thus far have felt particularly spongy, but I guess at this point in the first Prime game, it's also not really the case. But yeah, now that we have space jump, traversing this area becomes kind of a breeze. And scan this, and then we can open this gate. Yeah. Lit. Ooh, okay. Helpful. Definitely helpful. And yeah, because there are 3 major areas in this game, they are much larger and take much longer. So I'm kind of anticipating the streams being sort of structured like that, of like, okay, today we'll get through Aegon, then Torvus the next time, and then Sanctuary Fortress the next time. Although Sanctuary Fortress is so massive. That's an E-tank up there. Okay. That's a super late game one, though. Because you need the... Is it the Sonic Visor? I forget exactly what they call it. Okay. So then... Maybe there is something in Dark Aether that I missed, potentially. What are your thoughts on the trilogy? Echoes is your least favorite. Love Prime 1 and really like Prime 3. I've only played through Prime 2 once in full, but I really grew to like it over time. It was brutal in the early game, which I'm definitely managing much better now. Prime 1 is also great. Prime 3 I'm not a big fan of, as of now. I think we need to go this way. Yeah, because this is the whole mining facility area, right? This is blocked off. We have to enter this from the dark room door, I think. Oh shit, wait a second. I need to be on the upper level, don't I? Echo's the least replayable. What about Corruption did I not like? Honestly, a lot of it. Mostly level design with how... Whenever you have to backtrack in that game, and you could argue this, I guess, for either of the first two to a certain extent, but I felt like there were a lot of opportunities to hit dead ends, and then you backtrack, and it's just through like a long, straight hallway, basically. As opposed to having like more options and like the levels feeling more interconnected, I guess. And I guess it gets more interconnected as you go and stuff like that when you get more ship landing spots and stuff, sure. But a big factor of that too is the Aurora unit, that even when you have hints turned off is like, Samus, you cannot progress this way. And it's like, thanks. I couldn't tell that I couldn't progress this way because there are lava things that I can't freeze yet. You know, it's just like, it's that kind of stuff mostly. Yeah, it's mostly level design, with a hint of tutorialization / hand-holding, I guess. But yeah, Prime 1 does have a lot of that, but I find that some of that can be mitigated with game knowledge, whereas with Prime 3, like, I guess, yeah, like, you wouldn't go to the area with the lava flowing where you have to freeze it before ice missiles if you knew that ahead of time. But I think Prime 1 allows you to get more creative in the way that you maneuver through it. Even though, like, Vendrana is only accessible through Magamore, and, like, I said it when I was streaming Prime 1, like, I kind of wish there were a few more elevators, like maybe 2 more elevators that connected certain areas. But I don't find that it's as much of an issue, though. No, I actually am, like, despite the previews and stuff with Prime 4, it's like, I actually am looking forward to Prime 4, just because I want more Metroid Prime really in any form. And to that end, I'm looking forward to giving Prime 3 another shot, because I've never actually finished it. Mostly for the reasons that I mentioned. But I don't know, like, because Prime 4 has shown off both ends of the... both extremes, right? It's shown off chatty, you know, companion-type characters, but it's also shown off driving a motorcycle over an expansive desert, right? So it's like... I think it'll end up being a balance. And to me, the desert looks like it's going to be just like a Hyrule Field scenario, like Ocarina, even more Ocarina of Time inspired than like these games are. Although one could argue this game is more Majora's Mask inspired because of the central hub and then like the dungeons being like prongs kind of around it, right? Oh shit. But yeah, this game is definitely the most, well, I mean, they're all linear to a certain extent, but like this game is definitely more linear and guided than, not guided, but like, you know what I mean? So like, I kind of understand what you're saying in terms of it being less replayable to a certain extent, but I also find that the challenge that it puts up, and I think the boss design and level design in some areas make it a more interesting game to play through than Prime 1. Even if Prime 1 is kind of like easy to get in and you do a quick playthrough and you're out, right? Dark Beam. Really looking forward to Prime 4. I'm excited to see what they do. Yeah, like I'm interested in the lore and the narrative aspects to Metroid. It's just a matter of how much does it get in the way, right? I'm not opposed to cutscenes or dialogue or like more overt storytelling. It just kind of needs to be executed well, and I'm not gonna like make a snap judgment until we see more. I need Spider Ball for these. Am I here too early? Heavy weapons can shatter the armor. So people are losing their minds. Yeah, well, that's the thing is like, we're like people are being. It's just the way that unfortunately discourse is now. But it's just like, not that it hasn't been like this for a long time, but it's like being reactionary towards something where we don't even know like the extent. Like Miles McKenzie could get killed off brutally by Silux for all we know, right? Like it's like we just don't know what the actual long-term implications are for his inclusion and stuff like that. Although to be fair, from a marketing standpoint, it's not exactly putting their best foot forward, right? To have that be in the early game and like all of that kind of stuff. Oh, here we go. Ironic in your opinion, considering this exact same thing. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I was very young at the time. I wasn't really like, ugh. This tunnel is always just disturbing, but I wasn't like active in the video game, you know, internet scene or whatever at the time because I was like 6 at the time Prime 1 came out. But I am aware, like in retrospect, like I am aware that people were skeptical of Prime 1 going first person and stuff like that. And then it ended up panning out. It ended up being a critical darling and all that jazz, right? Yeah, I kind of agree. I don't really know what they're doing in terms of marketing Prime 4. Like, yeah, they've just not done a great job of it in general. But like, I feel like I know what I'm getting into as a fan of the series, so like, I don't really care that much that it hasn't shown well. Like, I know I'm getting a Metroid Prime game, even if it's a particularly chatty Metroid Prime game or a Metroid Prime game with a little bit more experimentation in its like world design or something. But it's still going to be a Metroid Prime game, and so like, I know that it's going to be a good time. At least to a certain level, right? But I just don't know that it's going to appeal to the wider audience that people want Metroid to appeal to, I guess, for the sake of the... My thing is, like, I actually don't mind Metroid continuing to be niche so long as we continue to get new games. You know? Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Well, it's similar to, like, you know... Wind Waker Discourse is also another thing where it's like it's very known to me, but like I wasn't really like, you know, around for it. Like I was alive, but it's more just like I wasn't active in the scene or anything like that. Not that I've ever really been. Like the most active I've been in video game discourse is this channel, and you know that's had its ups and downs in terms of exposure and shit like that. But Yeah, and also forgive me if I lose my train of thought. This game does require quite a bit of focus. Ah, yes. The Dark Samus fight approaches. But yeah, like I was talking about Wind Waker earlier and stuff like that too, about the potential overcompensation and kind of pendulum swinging too far in the other direction in response to the backlash that it received when it first came out. Oh, okay. Okay, good time to hop on, yeah. For sure, because, you know, we got Dread, and then, like, the lead up to Prime 4, Prime Remastered, stuff like that. It's good stuff. And it's cool to hear, too, that despite you getting into the series so late, relatively speaking, it's never, you know what I mean, that you went out of your way to play Prime 2. I was just kind of criticizing folks, like, generally speaking, who, like, haven't, it's like, oh, they love Metroid Prime 1, but, like, don't want to go out of their way to play Prime 2, or at least try it, you know? And I find that, like, a little strange. Granted, I'm aware not everyone has access to or wants to, like, bother with emulation, but Prime Hack makes emulating these games pretty simple, all things considered. Have the complete collection? Sick. Only game you're missing is Federation Force. That is probably that's the only Metroid game I think that I haven't played. Unless you count Metroid Prime Pinball, which I also don't have much experience with, but as a mere mortal, I don't know that I'm worthy of playing such an amazing title as Prime Pinball. I don't want it to ruin the rest of the series for me. Dude, I actually unironically love that meme about Prime Pinball just being people joking around and memeing that it's the greatest game of all time and shit. I love that. It's fucking funny. It's like the majesty of Prime Pinball will ruin the rest of the series for me, so I'm not gonna play it. It's funny as hell. Same on both counts. Yeah, and like Other M, funny enough, I picked up Other M like bargain bin maybe the year after it came out. And that was before I had played a lot of Metroid games in full. I had the trilogy, but I couldn't like wrap my head around it too much. I probably played a good chunk of Prime 1, but the other two not as much. I played Super Metroid, which was my first one, via Wii Virtual Console. And, what's it called? They fly now? Where are you? Oh, shit. Actually, don't hate Other M. Yeah, I've heard about that. I've heard about the Japanese version. Like I've heard that some of it gets lost in localization, like what they were really going for. And also, then again, I do think that Other M was maybe a misguided attempt to make it appeal to a larger audience, especially on the Wii. And it's like, it's interesting because like Metroid is kind of uniquely hardcore compared to a lot of other Nintendo franchises. And I'd say hardcore kind of in air quotes, right? Like, what does that really mean? But it's like, you know, it's more of like a darker sci-fi setting in a genre that isn't like, you know, one of the most popular. But then again, like Hollow Knight's huge. But then again, Hollow Knight is also a great value proposition. Whereas with Metroid, I think the quality is there, but like from the outside looking in, it's like, oh, $60 for a game that you can beat in X amount of hours, and it's like, well, in that instance, you're paying for quality, right, as opposed to quantity in terms of playtime, and also they're kind of designed to be highly replayable, and you know this as a fan of the series, etc. and so on. So yeah, we need to make stairs with this. Right, so like one there, and then two, I think that's correct, and then two there, and then three there. Okay, I see. So like the... Yeah, so then I scan this one more time. That's it. And then we lower all three here, I think. Yeah, I'm probably going to lose my train of thought a lot because I have to focus, but... Some voice localization is blatantly wrong. Yeah, it's just a weird case. At the same time, though, like, I actually didn't hate Other M either. Granted, my experience with the series was more limited at the time. I don't even think I had played Fusion by that point. Because I didn't play Fusion until the Ambassador games on 3DS released. Because I wasn't really, like, emulating stuff at that time either. Shit. Not for any particular reason, just because... I don't know, I guess I just didn't really consider it an option. How unlucky is that? I jump at the exact moment that the lasers pop out. We've got our sphincter tunnel here. We're just damage boosting. Okay, so for a second I was like, wait, could I have just timed it? And I was like, no. You had to destroy the modules. AM2R, I actually didn't get around to it until fairly recently, and I played it a little bit. I talked about this in my Prime 1 streams, but I'll reiterate since you're asking, right? I just don't think I like Metroid 2 that much in any incarnation, really. Like, because I played Samus Returns when it came out. Like, I dabbled with Metroid 2 back when it, like, on 3DS Virtual Console. I played Samus Returns when it came out. I replayed it, did a video on it a few years ago, early on in my channel. And then last summer, I was traveling, and so I have a retro handheld, and I installed some like old Game Boy games and stuff like that I hadn't played before. Oh, is this Missiles, maybe? Yeah. Including Metroid 2, and I played the original Metroid 2. I think the best thing about Metroid 2, the original, is the atmosphere is very distinct and very strange and, like, alien in a way that I don't think either of the remakes really capture distinctly. So they're all, you know, distinct experiences. And then this is going in the direction of AM2R. But I just think the structure of Metroid 2 is just something that I don't really like that much, mostly just because I find fighting the Metroids to be a combination of, like, repetitive, tedious, and, like, in the case of the original Metroid 2 and AM2 are kind of frustrating, just in the way that their hitboxes are. Samus Returns, I think the Metroid fights, while there are still a lot of them, I think they get pretty interesting as you go to the later variants. But it's just... I don't know, I just don't think that I like the skeleton, or, like, kind of the overall design ethos of Metroid 2 to the point where, like, it doesn't matter what you do to it. Like, I don't think I'm gonna really dig it that much. So, like, with the AM2R, it's super impressive. Like, don't get me wrong. It's super impressive as a fan project and all that. Like, I don't want to discredit that. It's not really the fault of the creators of that project. It's more just, like, Metroid 2 is not a foundation that I really care for. Even executed to the best of its ability, it's just, like, I'm just not fond of it, I guess. Even though I respect it, you know, like I said, the atmosphere of the original Metroid 2 is, like, very cool and distinct, and, like, kind of specifically because of the hardware limitations. Right, the screen crunch, the monochrome, the sound chip and stuff like that, or, like, just the way that the music sounds. I forget if she's invulnerable when she's glowing like this. I kind of assume so, right? Yeah, it seems like it. Unless I need a missile. Magic missile. Oh no, she is vulnerable. Okay, yeah. Yeah, see, in my first playthrough of this, even with the same control scheme, I had died multiple times, I think, prior to this point. So I'm already doing much, much better than I was, which is cool. Well, I'm still not playing as well as I would like to be, but... Can I missile you in this phase? No, okay. This fight is more dynamic than I remember it being, though. Like, with her invulnerability states, mostly. And I need to experiment more, too, with these bosses, because I think... As was shown with my fight against the Omega Pirate, like, with how badly power bombs demolish him, yeah, I just need to, like, experiment with using different weapon types. So, like, maybe... Like, I doubt it, but it's like, okay, maybe bombs, right? Like, no? Okay, but it's worth a shot, you know? Like, I think I need to do a better job of that, which I said, like, 3 times in a row now. I'll check the chat here in a second. I'm just a little focused. Oh my god. There it is. M2R is actually becoming your most free-played game. Nice. Find it very fun. A randomizer does sound interesting. A randomizer does sound interesting. And I gotta say, too, it's interesting you bring up movement tech. In the original Metroid 2, the level of demand that it requires in terms of movement and platforming is, like, probably more than any other Metroid game. Which I respect, but I kind of found it frustrating. Oh, the other thing with Metroid 2, level design. The fact that there's literally just copy-pasted rooms. And, like, yeah, that's kind of in Metroid 1 also. It's part of the main reason why I don't really like Metroid 1 either that much, but I respect it. All the same. I just don't find it that fun to play. Mostly for level design reasons, right? Trilogy version's actually easier than the original. Actually very weak to the dark beam. Interesting. Yeah, because I guess Phazon is like a light entity, technically, right? It doesn't stem from the dark world. Is the trilogy version easier? Like, obviously normal mode. But I've always been under the impression that veteran is the original difficulty, but maybe they did modify some things. Okay, I was like, why? It took a second to respond. Yeah, I've been curious to check out more Metroid 1, like, fan projects and the like. Because, I mean, Zero Mission's great. One of my favorite 2D entries. Should I go back and... We can do some exploration, I think, as I go. I don't need to just, like, mainline, like, beeline the main objective, necessarily. Because we're already making really good progress. We've got 1 key, I've got the Dark Beam. Space Jump already. Obviously, Boost Guardian, I think, is up next, which is pretty infamous for good reason. I forget if this door is even accessible to me now, but I would like to just double back real quick and check. Because it's, like, the only... Because it's purple door, is that not... Oh wait, I might be able to actually access this. No, is this Seeker missiles? I don't know. We'll have to check. I'm a little fuzzy on the details. Oh, I can activate this portal though. But I wanna just go and check over here real quick. Commit more stuff to memory for future runs. Also, I think for now, I'm gonna kind of stick with Power Beam, just because these enemies are pretty doable, manageable with just Power Beam for now. Although... Yes, I can access this. Like how it looks like Prime 4 will be using Prime Hunter's ammo system as opposed to Echo's. Yeah, and that's also an upgrade from Prime 3 where the beams just kind of stack. You know, like you just kind of get a more powerful variant, which, you know, has its place. I guess that's... it's kind of how the 2D games operate at this point, sort of. I guess like Metroid 2, you had to like choose one or the other. Metroid 1 I think is similar, right? Super missiles, there's the portal. I think I'm supposed to take the portal, because then that gives me access to this area over here that's blocked up by super missiles currently. Yeah, so I should probably just do that while we're over here. I keep pressing the wrong button. Beams will stack and then you'll have elemental weapons on the D-pad. Oh, that's cool. I've actually, I've watched more of the trailers for Prime 4 than I did for Dread, because Dread, that first trailer impressed me so much that I was like, yeah, this is a day one, I'm gonna go media blackout on this. The point where Kraid was a surprise to me, which was cool. Even though apparently he was in one of the trailers, which I had no idea about. But yeah, like Prime 4, I've watched all the trailers, but I haven't really honed in on the details, because I'm just like, yeah, after next week doing, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. There's one of the keys. There's one of the keys. So now we just need to find our way up without dying. That requires light beam. Can I make this jump? Shit, not quite. There is a dark beam door up there and over here, but I'm not actually sure that I can access them, and I want to be careful to not take more damage than I need to. Part of me feels like it must be here, though. Before I backtrack, I've made the bad decision in my previous playthrough to backtrack before, really kind of analyzing my options. Ah, okay. So there's another area we can get to in Light World with Dark Beam. And I think that's actually correct. And that's also true, yeah, it is a one-way portal. Good call. Good call. I don't actually have an option. I don't have a choice. So that means there must be something. Here we go. That's right. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I do vaguely remember this now. Makes more sense. I think Aegon works well as kind of a tutorial area in that way. Whereas I think Torvus and especially Sanctuary, it's easier to get turned around, but no one's complaining about getting turned around in Sanctuary Fortress, because that place is fucking awesome. Yo. Tanky bastard. Okay. Light beam door. So this is... Just only on my ground? No. We gotta take this dark door that's over here. I'm in danger. Maybe some health upgrades. Upgrades, I mean, just health drops. Oh, I think I killed it. Okay. There I am, sucked in by the atmosphere again. There's the portal. Also, there's a Sky Temple key, I think, in this room. that is something where like I don't remember where the Sky Temple keys are as well as I do the Chozo artifacts in the first game, so that'll definitely be a bit more of a challenge. Ah, wait, Boost Guardian's up ahead, yeah. Or no. Yes, but I don't think we can access them quite yet. Not quite. I'm ready to see how I fare against Boost Guardian, because that fight is tough, and we need Light Beam to access this, so actually never mind. And maybe I'm misremembering. Maybe you can break... Brimstone is... Like, this is Denzium, so I don't think I have what I need to break this, but let's see what's over here real quick. Nothing. Just a Light Beam door. Okay. Yeah, I remember I used a guide for those my first time through. Although I did stumble upon one or two of them. I stumbled upon one of them in Sanctuary Fortress by accident. Because you need Dark Visor, I think, specifically, right? You need Dark Visor, and then you need to be able to access them, but you also kind of need Light Suit for a lot of them, because they're in areas that, what's it called? They're in areas that have, like, heavy, drain or whatever. There's gotta be something in this boost room. Yeah, because I don't have Light Beam to activate this. Yeah, it's a waste. Yeah, I've heard about Prime 3's Key Hunt, because I know it's like those canisters, or whatever. Some sort of transportation system. Aha. But yeah, I've done my research to where I know you don't have to get all of them, which is nice. Yeah, I was like, there's gotta be... Oh shit, I'm ass. Make a decision. Figure out where you're going ahead of time. Okay, thank Christ. Yeah, and just being mindful of like where you place them in the, was it the GFS Valhalla? Maybe I'm thinking of a different ship. I forget the names of the ships exactly. Okay, save room. I'm feeling much more comfortable now. Push on into the sphincter tunnels, which is great. Oh, but there's phase on, so it's like, yeah, Spring Ball trivializes some of this. Yeah, sure, I get it, but I think I went through my entire first playthrough of this game without realizing that this version had Spring Ball. So, I think I've earned this. Okay. I don't really need these drops. I should not be breaking these willy-nilly. Scan this. 1 out of 3 locks. Okay, yeah. See, like, a lot of this is familiar to me. I just don't remember, like, the exact order in which things occur, or, like, I don't have, like, the map memorized entirely. Annihilator door over there. 2 out of 3. I think the third one is, like, tucked behind or in between something on the bottom, I want to say. Like, over here somewhere. That's probably not necessary, but... Okay. enemies spawn in or what? No, surprisingly. It's kind of refreshing for the environment to be so hostile, though. Like, you don't even need enemies in some of these areas to be, like, in danger. Shit. Okay. Get some health. Keep pushing. We'll try to get a scan of one of these. Nice. Recording to logbook. Oh. Try to kill these before they become a nuisance. There's a dark beam door and a light beam door. I'm assuming light beam is nearby, because I know you get these upgrades pretty quickly. Ah, yes, and then this. What the? Oh, shit. Did not mean to do that. That's the wrong way. Lit. Give me that. Yeah, here we go. Light beam acquired. Appreciate it, Connor. Take it easy. Have a good weekend. Light beam acquired, and now I can defend the ammo system in this game, even though it's like, yeah, did it need to exist? Maybe not. I think there's some discourse around, like, the fact that Retro didn't necessarily want an ammo system. But yeah, it literally says, defeat enemies with the dark beam to earn light beam ammo. Defeat enemies with light beam to earn dark ammo. But it's not just enemies, though. It's destructibles as well. So it's like... shit. Like, if you're running low on dark ammo, you can destroy stuff like this to get some of that ammo back. I'm actually ass. So look at that. We're already full on dark ammo again, after killing, like, 2 things. So, like, I would just never understand... I will never understand the consternation, if I'm using that word correctly, surrounding the ammo system in this game. Like, okay, we're a little bit low on light ammo, kinda. Not really. So it balances out, and then you get ammo upgrades, which I think are 50 apiece, which is a lot. Alright, so now... there's a number of options. There's a light beam door in here, but I might not be able to actually make it up there. Also, I think there's a Sky Temple key in this room, which I might have already said, but maybe I'm misremembering. So now we take, because we can't get up, or rather, I think I'm going to take the upper path, because I think that'll give me more options. Yeah, the big thing that I can't really defend is the health drain in Dark Aether being brutal. And, like, yes, it is. But as is shown, like, you can push on. You can push ahead more than you think you can. You just have to be a little aggressive about your exploration and all of that. Alright, so super missiles, they're the last key. Let's fucking go. Oh, but they're not going to give it to me that easily, though. And we can put the light beam to use here. Like, I like that, oh shit, I'm ass. I need to be careful with this. So dark ammo we're full on, which means we can use that to acquire more light ammo. Look at that, resource management. Resource management. You love to see it. Fuck yeah. Oh, there's another one. There's one more. Nice. See, I like this. You have 3 beams, right? Your standard ammo-less beam. You have a dark beam and a light beam that is more effective on certain types of enemies, has their different combat uses and stuff. What's it called? And then you have this like balancing mechanic, right, where it spawns in. I think you might need to be a certain proximity for it to spawn in and stuff. Okay. The thing is, I don't have super missiles, obviously, so I need to just backtrack in that case. But yeah, I have all 3 keys, so I just need to... I just need to head back to the Dark Temple, and then we're good. We can fight a Morbus, get the Dark Suit, which is fucking sick, and then we're done. This has been not nearly as bad as I remember it being in terms of, like, challenge. Although, wait. No, maybe I'm misremembering. Boost Guardian... Do I need to fight Boost Guardian? No, because I've already been to the temple, so, like... I think Boost Guardian might be in Corvus, and I'm, like, misremembering the order of things. I think Boost Guardian's the first thing you fight in Torvus, I think. So I think I was misremembering. And that half-pipe area is just like, it's just that, it's a half-pipe area for when you have Boost Ball. That's an Annihilator Beam door, I think? Because the purple, or the black doors are... No, that's a black door. This is like a gray door. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Annihilator Beam, because I saw one earlier. And I'll worry about, like... I'd be open to, being more thorough in my exploration later on. This is correct, right? Yeah. It's the portals in here. And there's also a light beam door that I can access now. This is an ammo recharge, I think. Yeah, it's like, it's just, dude, the ammo system really just is not as big of a deal as people make it out to be. And also, once you're out of ammo, you can use it, you can do a charge beam to still use it to open doors. Should you run out of a particular weapon type, particular ammo type. And also you have the power beam as a backup as well, either as a means to attack things when you're out of said ammo, or if you want to conserve ammo for whatever reason, which I think is totally valid too. It's just the extent to which people conserve their ammo is like a little much, I think. Right? This is not like an RPG where there's like a finite amount of elixirs or whatever, right? Although I've been known to hoard certain healing items in JRPGs, and I more so think that a lot of JRPGs need to like incentivize the use of those items more, like either limit the capacity that you have on them, but then also put up enough of a fight to where you would want to use them. I think I need... Do I need Spider Ball to access that light beam door? I think so. No. Maybe. Yes. Yes, I do, actually. So in that case, I want to take... Is it just one? So this is like the first of 3 areas, basically. So like looking here, so like this is the Great Temple, and this is the Temple Grounds is kind of your hub. So Aegon Waste is over here, and then like Torvis is on one other side, and then Sanctuary Fortress is on another side. But they do kind of connect in like a big circle surrounding the hub world. But yes, like more or less once you're done with Aegon, you move on to Torvis. You do have to come back here for a particular upgrade, but it's more segmented than the first game, where you kind of gain access to most of the areas pretty quickly, and then you're just exploring different facets of them, different parts of them over the course of the game. Yeah, so we need to head back to the other portal room, because... Oh, that didn't reach. You need to head back to the other portal room because that gives me access to the Dark Temple. Oh, also we're up here now. So, how do you aim? Okay, so it's inverted. I don't know if there's any other destructibles. This is a little weird that you can't like aim it with the cursor though. Anything else? This? Oh shit. Little power trip. Pretty sick. How do I exit? Spacebar, okay. Pretty lit. I'm unclear if these are destructible as well. I thought I shot them, but... We'll just keep pressing on. Bum ba dum bum bum. And the great part about this game is that this is the least interesting area. And then Torvis is more interesting, and then Sanctuary Fortress is fucking goated. Yes, I want to take... This requires boost ball to get up to this upper door. This is a boost ball room. This is a dark beam area, but this is where you get seeker missiles, though. So, like, I actually don't know how beneficial it is to check this out. I guess we can go poke around and see if there's, like, a missile expansion or something. I'm not opposed to it, because, you know, we're about to go fight... The next thing to do is to go fight the, like, boss of this area. So, I'm not opposed to doing some additional exploration here. Yeah, so like I think this is like a grapple beam, like kind of chasm area, because you need spider ball to get to this light door. But we can at least poke our nose into this room and see what's up. Oh, never mind. It's actually a morph ball launches you over. That's pretty cool. Eventually we can just screw attack our way over, and maybe there's something on that central platform. It almost looks like that's destructible or something. It's probably like super missile or something like that. Oh shit. Oh yeah, so there's like a power bomb door over here. I just want to poke my nose over here just to see what's up. And to get that power bomb door on the map, so that way I just know to not bother coming back here until later. And I almost feel like... I think... Yeah, this is like for the Sky Temple keys, I think. This is Spider Ball track, so I don't think I want to go back this way because it just dumps me back into this room over here. But something tells me there's something up above in this area, but like I think we'll be okay without. So playing on mouse and keyboard is very stressful on particularly my left wrist. Like I feel like using WASD, I'm like, Jesus Christ. And honestly, I don't really feel... I know some people with like controllers will feel like, you know, carpal tunnel setting in, for like a lack of a better way to put it, right? I don't really know that I've ever really felt that, honestly. Then again, I'm also a wind musician, so I'm like used to putting stress on my hands to a certain extent. Fingers. I guess if I was a pianist, then this would feel probably less less damaging, I guess is a way to put it. Okay, yeah, this is a seeker missile door. That's right. There is there is that E-tank, and I wonder if I could finesse this to like get it now. I don't know how else you're supposed to get it, because there's no spider ball tracks. It's like I kind of feel like okay, did I fuck that up? I think I did. I think I did fuck that up. I think I'm supposed to... Am I supposed to jump up there? Because it looks like you can kind of go up. Okay. And these guys respawn too, so I need to be careful. That's not what I meant to do. I think this should be doable, and I would appreciate the extra E-tank. Although we're gonna get Dark Suit pretty soon, so it's not gonna be as big a deal, but maybe for a Morbus it'll... Like, I don't remember a Morbus being that demanding, but, because it is in Dark Aether, I wanna... Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. How are you supposed to do that? I think I'm just ass. Bruh. Oh, you know what I think it is? I think if we just chill here, right? Okay, that's not quite it. Then how, though? Because I need to, like, bum jump my way over there. And that doesn't give me the height I need. And these just get destroyed immediately. So I'm kind of like, am I supposed to jump? Oh, I see. Okay, there's like a hidden platform there. Okay. I was like, this seems like way more demanding. Like, if it was how I thought it was going to be, it's like the most demanding morph ball puzzle of all time. But no, not quite. So now I need to get back up. The extra E-tank is huge at this point, though. We take those. Okay. Worth. Discovered a secret missile door over there. This is where we have to come back with the light energy. And now head to this portal room. Because yeah, this is boost ball on both fronts. And then that's also a secret missile door, not dark beam. Anything else I can do for now? I don't think so. I don't think so. Super missiles. There is a dark beam door in Dark Aether. Kind of near the boss. And that might be a... I think it's a... No, would it be a save room that close to this one? Maybe? It's very close to the portal room, so we can check that out. I think that's it. Yeah, this is definitely the smallest area, too. It is kind of a tutorial sort of deal. And then another dark beam door over here. So I vote that I take this portal to Dark Aether and then just, like, kind of explore the last couple of rooms I have access to for now. And the fight of Morbus. And then maybe call it, even though I don't want to stop playing this. But I think segmenting the game, segmenting my playthrough will make sense. And if I feel like streaming this weekend, maybe I'll do that instead of waiting till Monday. Yeah, so straight ahead. Bum ba-dum, bum 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 ba-dum, bum 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 ba-dum, bum 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 ba-dum, bum 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 ba-da-da-da-da-da. Did I scan this one already? No, because this would disappear, right? Yeah, it would stop moving. Yeah, I kind of hate having to sit through this cutscene every time, I will admit that. That's like a really small fix. Like, I actually don't mind this cutscene that much, because I don't feel like you go back and forth that much. Then again, this probably should be skippable. But it's, yeah, it's really like the portal spawning in is like, could this not just happen in real time, though? Or could we not just, like, leave the portal... You know, kind of like the portals that don't have the activator where, like, you just have to shoot them with a beam to reactivate them. Whatever. Doesn't really matter. I'm down to check out... Something tells me, like, I don't have access to these doors for some reason, but, like, this is where we want to go. This is, like, so close to the boss room that I feel like I kind of want to head to the dwelling range and just see what's up. So we'll cut through here, make a save. I think that seems like a plan. Make a save, see if I can even do anything in here. And then if not, double back here. I think this might be another save room for some reason, but maybe not. I should probably use those to get some, like, slightly fill up on light ammo. But I think we'll be okay. It might be an ammo room, actually. This boost ball. Yeah, fill back up on light ammo. That's fine, because we're hitting a save here anyway. We'll get full health. Beautiful. This has been highly efficient. Once again. Like, it's not even going to be 3 hours for first area. And granted, it is the shortest area, so... Maybe Sanctuary Fortress will be split over 2 streams. More than likely, it'll be like, okay, we'll do up the bulk of it in one, and then the rest of it plus some Sky Temple keys in the second. It wouldn't be, like, 2 full streams of just Sanctuary, likely. But then again, you never know. Until you do. This is something. This is like... Oh, I think there might be a Sky Temple key here. Like, I don't have the Dark Visor to be able to see it, but maybe? It feels like there should be something there. And also a missile expansion as consolation, which we take. We take that. Worth, I would say. Portal up there. Oh, that's right. That's just the other side of... I haven't been there in Dark World, really? I think that's where... I think, like I was saying, the Sky Temple key is in the dark version of that area, which requires seeker missiles to get to. I think that's how it works. No, I haven't been over here. Never mind. I'm thinking of a different area. But yeah, seeker missiles are needed to get over here. So that's for the backtracking from Torvis. That's for the backtracking from Torvis. And so for now we can see what this dark beam door is over to our left. I need to be on the upper path. I think it's a save room, but if it's not, I am not opposed. I don't know why I did that. I'm not opposed to going back to the save room to just make a cleaner save, but I think it is another save room, even though it's close by. And yeah, part of me feels like that could be doable without Spider Ball, but in the case that it's not, I don't want to like waste time trying to do it, because I could see it going either way. So now I would appreciate more health drops more than I would ammo. See, making decisions, even as far as like how we're interacting with the destructibles here. And there's a dark beam door up here somewhere around. Pretty sure it's a save room. It's a super missile door. Yes. A save room right next to the boss. That's not always the case. Like, there are some potential runbacks needed for later bosses, but realistically speaking, it's not like the runbacks are that challenging. It's like, it's more so kind of a tedious thing. Because as you've seen, you can kind of ignore a lot of enemies and be okay. Okay, so now we go to the right. But I need to be on the upper path. Yeah, I haven't... Dude, my first playthrough, I was like standing in these safe zones to restore my health for like minutes at a time. My, how times have changed. And I literally just made a save. Here we go. Need to drink more water. It's like, yeah, I do kind of miss the more interconnected approach of Prime 1, but I think that linearity, it has its own strengths, right? And Prime 1 is still linear largely, but like more overt linearity has its strengths. In particular when it comes to like difficulty curve and stuff like that. So now, I forget if Amorbis is considered a... It's a light creature corrupted by dark, so I'm like not really entirely sure. Avoid target as it enters and leaves from the earth. Right. So we need to crack its outer shell. I'm assuming that light beam is going to be our most effective here. Yeah, that seemed to handle things pretty quickly. I have plenty of missiles already. Shit. Okay. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Classic. Queen Metroid style. That's not what I meant to do. Still in full health somehow. Press the wrong button. Lots of health drops. Shit. I need to move around the battlefield a little bit more. Are you gonna inhale again? No. Shit, I'm ass. Okay, it seems like they're invulnerable right now. Okay, wait. Do this. Shit. I'm not actually sure if Dark Beam is, like, helping me here. Probably not. And I should probably be missiling, too. Yeah, that's totally my fault. Give me that health. A big health upgrade. Big health drop. Because, yeah, I'm still, like, learning things about this game. And I'm still learning things about Prime 1 as well, but, like... There's more to be learned from this game, I think, for me. Yeah, we're out of light ammo, unfortunately, and I don't... Because it seems like their shell is dark. So, like... That's my fault, obviously. So I don't think using our Dark Beam ammo is really going to be that useful here. I'm trying to, like, pay attention to where these guys are. And when I say that the bosses are better, like, I actually think this is one of the weaker bosses, all told. The next Arius boss where you're grapple beaming around and shit is super sick. Even though there is a sense of, like, sponginess at that point. I need to stop trying to land charge beams, it's too slow for it to be reliable. I should be missiling more, too. That actually landed, which is pretty sick. Shit. I don't think there's anything that can be done here. Like, let me... Dark Amorbus. Targets gain armor. Okay. Yeah, so, like... So it's like the light one has, like a shell. Shit. Alright, there's one. We take our damage. Yeah. And also this is very Link to the Past Desert Temple coded too. In terms of the boss, like it's like the worms coming out of the ground and shit. Yeah, but like the vulnerability of this thing is like it's limited, right? Like you can only really deal damage to it when it's inhaling and you bomb it. But like isn't Flagra? Flagra's like basically the same thing, but like less interesting. Right. I don't mind Flagra. It's like, okay, bump up the solar panels or whatever, and then, you know, bomb it once it opens up. It's like, but it's like, this is similar, using the morph ball bombs to specifically damage the boss, whereas you're only sending it. It's, yeah, it's iterative, right? But it's cool. It's cool. Pretty straightforward. And we get the dark suit, which is fucking sick. The suit we have for basically the rest of the game. Damn near the rest of the game. Don't get the light suit until super late. Yeah, buddy. Hell yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so we still take damage, but it is much, much slower than before. This is the light conduit. Yeah, that's the only other room, because that's like a dead end. There might be something in there we can check on our way out. Oops. For now, though, let's absorb that light energy so we can go transfer it back. Something else that I forgot to do several times in my original Prime 2 playthrough was like go back to the light version of this area to transfer it. And so I ended up like trying to backtrack out and just like wasting a lot of time, you know? Making for a more tedious experience than like it actually is, you know? Yeah. Yeah, and it's like Samus's power suit's ability to like absorb energy and stuff like that coming into play in a major way in this game too. Not that it doesn't in other games. It's like literally the way you beat Metroid Prime is because you can stand in the Phazon, well, because of the dark suit or the Phazon suit, mind you, but still though, being able to like absorb the Phazon energy to even get the Phazon suit to begin with. Nice. Return the energy to its temple on Aether. Even though this notification comes up in the other areas, I remember trying to exit Sanctuary Fortress and it like literally doesn't let you leave, I don't think, until you go back. That's my own damn fault, though. Yeah, so I wouldn't even say that this is 1/3 of the way done, just because the other areas are larger. Like, Torvus is a longer area, and then Sanctuary Fortress is even longer, so it's just something to keep in mind in terms of how far along I actually am. Yeah, I'm just curious if there is something tucked away in this left corner. I feel like there must be something. I'm just gonna try to ignore these fuckers. Now that I have the dark suit, I feel much more confident in my ability to like traverse through here too. Yeah, this must, I think that's just, yeah, it's obviously a dead end. Maybe something with dark visor, but nah, I don't even know if that's true. The thing with dark suit is it doesn't really allow us to like go anywhere new necessarily. So there's not, like, anything else I can really do here reliably. Because this door was blocked off by something. What was it? Oh, it was the grate. It's like the grate. So, like, this is like a one-way exit, right? Because the Seeker Missiles in the Light World gets you through there. Super Missile, Annihilator Beam. Super missile again, power bomb. I just think when we come back here for seeker missiles from Torvis, I will probably try to clear more, because I think you have super missiles by then, probably, maybe. And if not, the thing is, like, justifying going all the way over here is hard to do. So, like, you want to, like, make it an efficient run. So it's almost like, do I wait until Dark Temple? I don't know. I like this game and this world a lot, so, like, I feel like I'm going to feel more compelled to be... I'm going to feel more compelled to explore more thoroughly, even if it means going out of my way for some stuff. I don't really feel like I need to save right this instant. What I do need is light beam ammo, though. That was a big drop. I'm gonna get more dark beam ammo, ideally. Cool, that should be enough. Lit. We'll just top off our ammo a little bit more, if possible. Beautiful. Sick. One more for the road. Nice. Pretty much as full as you can be. Barring an actual ammo recharge station. Try to ignore these guys. Keyword try. Shit, fuck it. Okay. A little bit more dark ammo before we head back. Beautiful. Bum 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 bum. Head back, restore the light to Aegon Wastes. And GTFO. Back to the Great Temple. I figure we can... I don't want to enter Torvis until next time, because that place is awesome. I want to save it. As much as it pains me. So in that case... Also, wait, what was preventing me from going through here? Even then, I think I need, like, a different upgrade to get Seeker Missiles anyway, so I'm like, what is even the point of me doing that? But it's also near the exit, so we can just check and see if I can access something to maybe get a missile tank or something, right? Usually, like, these games are pretty good about giving you some kind of consolation upgrade. Just like with the Drowned Frigate, like having that E-tank there that you can get even if you go there stupidly like I've done in the past, before you have Gravity Suit. It's a massive waste of time, though, because you move so slowly, but it is doable to get there. But that's one of those instances where the game is like, you cannot progress. Like, it must have been play-tested to the point where it's like, players thinking, oh, there must be something that I can do to... what's it called? We'll save at the temple, I reckon. Yeah, what I want to do... I did. I played through another chapter of Lost Judgment, so I'm kind of playing it sort of like I did the first game, where it's like roughly like a chapter per session or so. Although the first chapter was a little bit longer, the prologue or whatever, and this is blocked up by this grade. So I'm still feeling things out. I actually feel similarly to the first Judgment, where I'm like, I'm liking it so far, but I'm also like, where is this going? Although I feel like... I don't know, do I feel more invested now? It's an interesting angle, I guess. I need to restore the light world. I literally just did what I fucking was talking about before. Oh, where I tried to leave... God damn it. Well, we just cut straight through and then hang a left. Jesus Christ, okay. Gotta get your head in the game. Get my head in the game, that is. I don't know, I think like Lost Judgment, it's like an interesting angle, right? because it's like, you know, the school focus and like with the bullying angle and stuff like that. It's interesting. You know, interested to see where it goes. And it's one of those cases where it's like, I wouldn't want every game in the future to like be about the same thing, but like I don't think that's going to be the case if we get a third Judgment game. Because the first Judgment was like about something kind of somewhat distinct too. What is this? Denzium, I think that's Powerbomb. I'm fairly certain. I need to take the room that's up here. You motherfuckers. I don't even care about the damage. Stop knocking me around, goddammit. I'm actually so shit for that. That was my fault. I went for a jump that, like, isn't really super reliable. You know what? Fuck these guys, dude. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, that was easy enough. I should just do that. I should just do that more. Enemies more threatening here. Weapons are arguably more useful. Because my thing with like Prime 1's weapons, they're fun to use and stuff. And obviously you have the color-coded enemies and like color-coded doors as with here with the doors, right? But what's it called? I don't know, like Plasma is just like so superior to the other ones damage-wise. And then the rest of them are more so effective for like stun locking. Like Wave Beam kind of for stun locking with the electricity, and then like Ice Beam for freezing stuff in place. And Dark Beam also does that, right? And obviously, I feel like the gameplay's improved in Lost Judgment. Yes. Yeah. I mean, like, it's hard for me to compare directly because it's been maybe like 6 months since I played Judgment 1. But I do like the combat. I do like the feel of the combat still. And I feel like even like the non-combat gameplay, there's more variety. Like you have the stealth stuff, you've got the climbing stuff, which is a little slow and a little tedious, but like eh. And then I think there's only been one tailing mission thus far, and it was pretty quick. And some of the changes to the tailing makes it a little more tolerable. The tailing missions in the first Judgment pissed me off. Just because of how, like, monotonous they were. But, what's it called? Once you get Annihilator Beam in this game, like, obviously that's the most powerful, but it uses both ammo types. So, like, you know, you're at risk of depleting through your ammo much quicker. And also you get it so late that it's, like, it's not even really an issue. In terms of, like, ruining the balance or something like that. That said, I find Prime 1's beams fun to use. It's just because they're doled out over a longer duration, it makes Plasma kind of like the obvious highest damage one. Like, it destroys those flying space pirates, as you saw in my playthrough. Like, and just completely, like, melts them. Which is welcome, because, like, by that point you fought them enough to where it's like, okay, yeah, just... Can we get, like... I don't need to spend as much time on these guys as I have in the past, but... At the same time, it's not like, you know, a direct upgrade, it's like a separate beam. And so then it kind of is like, okay, beyond the color-coded enemies, why... Like, kind of like, why use the other beams other than the color-coded enemies? Which, that is a reason to use them. But it does feel like a little bit... It's like an inflexible reasoning, I guess. And I guess the same could be argued here, where it's like, okay, use Dark Beam on light guys and Light Beam on dark guys, right? And Dark Beam has that, like, sort of freezing property as well, or that slowing property. But I don't know, like the ammo considerations and stuff like that, it just makes combat encounters here feel more dynamic and like I guess strategic to a certain extent. But it's a strategy that is like the player can make decisions more. Whereas in Prime 1, it's like you see a purple space pirate, you have to use wave beam on him. Which again, I don't mind that. I actually kind of like that, but it is kind of like a limiting combat decision. Here, it's like you can use all weapon types on everything. It's just the effectiveness will vary, and you'll have to determine. You will have to determine what is most effective for your playstyle, or for your ammo conservation, or like whatever, right? Because Dark Beam, for as powerful as it can be, it is slower, so some players might not gravitate toward it as much, etc. and so on. And I guess technically I am still chipping away at Witcher 3 Blood and Wine on my a replay. I still think Blood and Wine is the best chunk of the game by far, the best that Witcher 3 has to offer, and I think I will do. I've talked about it with Space Cowboy, but I haven't said anything on the channel as far as future video plans. But I think with Mass Effect and Witcher 3, both of which I've now finished mostly. At least with Witcher 3, I've finished the base game. Replaying it for the first time in a while. I think I'm gonna do just for the rest of the audience, if you're curious, if you're watching this far into the stream, either live or on the VOD or whatever. If anyone's familiar with my Spider-Man traversal in open worlds video from a few years back, I think I'm going to do something similar to that with both Mass Effect Trilogy and Witcher 3, just focusing on a specific aspect and kind of talking about it, as opposed to doing an all-encompassing sort of thing. Because I think that just suits the style of my channel better and kind of what I've been doing. So I kind of want to see, I think there's a dark beam something or other blocking us from this room. So I kind of want to see what this is about. I kind of let's explore the temple grounds a little bit to I'm wondering, the landing site also has a spot like that, so I kind of wonder, is this Torvis, or is this, I want to say this is probably Sanctuary Fortress, right? Because it's the newest area, but maybe it's not. I don't remember exactly which path it's going to be. I'm assuming that it's this one. And then Sanctuary Fortress again is this newer area. So I'm wondering if there's a blockade here at the landing site that's preventing me from going through, but there is that dark beam portal thing. This is just a one-off room. I think this is where Sky Temple Key is. And so I don't even know that it's necessarily worth me going out of my way for that. So I think I'm gonna head this way towards the landing site, even though I'm full on missiles and everything, so saving there doesn't really do much for me. But it could be useful to unlock some of these paths for later, for Sky Temple Key hunt, because there are some in Temple Grounds as well. But yeah, I guess to go back to Judgment and stuff, I'm enjoying playing Lost Judgment a hell of a lot more than Yakuza 7, that's for sure. That's for sure. But this needs light beam, right? And just kind of reminding me of how great, even though RGG did stumble a little bit in the early Dragon Engine action titles, but how much they do thrive in the action genre, Oh, this is the yeah, well, first of all, this is Seeker Missile Door, but this is where you put the Sky Temple keys and stuff like that, akin to the Chozo artifact area. So, like, good to just remind myself of where this is. This is a super missile door, so there's not even really a reason for me to go through there. But cool. Good for me to uncover that now, because I think in my first playthrough I didn't even find this place until way later. And that became kind of an issue. Might as well just save here. I think I'm gonna make a save in the Great Temple, but I just, you know, just in case of like random crash or something, right? Just like a safety save. And top off ammo, which I was mostly full on anyway, but still. So now where to? Yeah, I guess we go back to Industrial Site. And back to here. I'd be down to see if there's anything in there, and then... There's probably, like... I probably just need to get a new translator module or whatever from UMOS. If I had to guess. But I think I'm kind of itching to move on from Witcher 3 at this point. I mean, I've played through the base game before I jumped into Blood and Wine again, so it's like, you know, Blood and Wine kind of reinvigorated my interest in playing it, because again, it's like by far my favorite chunk of the game. But I can talk more about that in the video, probably. Although I don't know how much narrative stuff I'm really going to focus on in that case, to be honest. I don't know why I keep doing that. Right, so there's a portal here, but I really don't know how much it benefits me to take it right now. I mean, I don't even have the Dark World map, so maybe it would be beneficial, but I'm a little nervous that it's going to lock me... Hold on. Okay, so that's... I'm nervous about, like, how far I'm going to have to go to get to a Light World portal, but at the same time, I just saved. So I'm kind of like, okay, let's just get the Dark World map activated for Temple Grounds, I guess? I suppose. But yeah, I know the Steam Winter Sale is coming up in, like, about a month. Secret Missile Door. And yeah, the Light World portal is right there, so like... So I'll probably... I'm anticipating that I'll probably pick some stuff up, because I've added some games to the wishlist that are a little older, and so they're probably going to be super cheap. Ooh, missile expansion. Nice find. I kind of feel like I have more than enough missiles right now, but... Okay. Anything else to do here? There's something up here in the Light World, is there not? And maybe there is something up here too in the Dark World, but... I think there's something through this tunnel, maybe. Yeah, in Light World there's something there. I think a missile expansion. So let me head back. There's nothing else for me to do here. But yeah, I'm kind of itching to start something new. And this has definitely helped. Playing the Metroid Prime games has definitely helped as something like refreshing and like in a different genre than I've been playing. You know, third-person action, right? Because I grabbed Ghost of Tsushima, which I'm looking forward to playing to a certain extent. But now I'm seeing that it's on sale for slightly cheaper than I did buy it for, and I still haven't jumped into it, so it's like... I don't really mind. I got it for a good discount still, but it's just more like... even now that I am doing better financially than I was, it's still like, I mean, I should just wait until it's actually time for me to play these games, for me to buy them. Which I'm doing with a good number of games. Like Ninja Gaiden 4 is 20% off right now, I think. Let me just date these streams even more than I already have. Ninja Gaiden 4, and I think there's something else on my wish list that's on sale slightly. And like these are games that I will play at some point, but it's more just like I'm not going to play them right now. I have stuff that I already own that I'm going to play first, so like why don't I just wait until a sale that is closer to when I would actually play these. Let's just pop into this room and just see if there's anything in Light World. Again, I think a Sky Temple key is in here. And this is assuming that I can even get over there. Nice. Yeah. So nice having space jump so early. Prime 1, you have to go through a good stretch of the game without it. Granted, like, time-wise, it's probably pretty comparable. But, percentage-wise, in terms of, like, how far you have to play in, I feel like it just takes a little bit longer to get going with the upgrades. Here it's... I said this at the beginning, I guess, already, but it's like, here you get more of the upgrades sooner, and then they're just like, go use them, you know? Do I want to take this temple transport? I mean, we're going to end up taking all three anyway. Oh no, wait, this is the final boss area. So am I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know. Whatever. We'll make our way up there, but I just want to explore for the sake of it, just to see what's up. Yeah, again, there's probably something blocking this path. Like, maybe I can take the elevator up to, yeah, because everything else... This is, like, the last place that I can check. Yeah, I mean, I think that would be cool. I think... maybe some more Battle Network PvP or something, or... like, I want to do kind of a Dragon Engine discussion about more, like, you know, obviously we talked about Kiwami 2 and 6. But, kind of like, you know, the Judgment, 7, Lost Judgment, and 8. But I want to finish Lost Judgment and play 8 first. Before we do that. Can I break this? No. Okay, so this is blocked off. So, okay. Right, yeah, because this was already scanned. This is like from, yeah. So let's just head back to the temple. Got a missile expansion out of this. Maybe 2? Why does this feel like something? Let's head back. Yes, this way. Bum. Yeah, I think I'm gonna save at the Great Temple and then call it a stream, even though I do want to play more. But you know, if I get sucked into Torvus Bog, it's like, how much longer would I play, and blah blah blah. It's like, I want to savor it. Let's take the elevator up. Going up. Yeah, like a deeper talk about the well, just like the Dragon Engine games, like the Dragon Engine era, I guess, which technically starts with 6. And so like, yeah, we talked about the Kiryu games, and so like, yeah, but like kind of beyond Kiryu, even though like obviously he comes back and stuff, so just talking about like kind of this era of RGG, even though I haven't played Ishin, you've played it, even though I haven't played Gaiden, nor do I really want to play... I don't really want to play the remake of Ishin, nor do I want to really play Gaiden or Pirate Yakuza. I'm, like, not interested in any of those, to be honest. But I do really like the Judgment games, though. I do hope we get a third one at some point. That would be sick. Also, yeah, I think we'll get our instructions from Umos now. He'll give us the new translator thing that allows us to go to Torvis, and then I'll save in the central room. And we'll call it. Just that next time we can just jump right in and just head straight to Torvis without exposition, even though this might fit better at the start of a stream, because it's like, oh, now you must go to Torvis Mog, but yeah. Thank you for restoring... I thank you for restoring energy to the Temple of Aegon. Your valor honors the Luminoth. Those who have passed and those who remain, here under my protection as they sleep in deep stasis. Be on guard, for the Ing do not suffer to defeat lightly. They will surely seek revenge for your actions. With the energy lost from the desert region, they will increase their efforts in other lands. I've detected unusual amounts of Ing activity in the Torvis sector. The enemy is on the move. And if you do read up on the lore, it's like Aegon wasn't always a desert, and like Torvis wasn't always a swamp and stuff like that. And Sanctuary Fortress is so fucking cool. I mean, I'm gonna keep saying that. The swamplands of Torvis are treacherous and can hinder you considerably. Bear this in mind as you move through the bog. Right, because we're gonna have to deal with underwater stuff before we have like underwater traversal stuff. Oh yeah, I guess, okay, Ishin Kiwami technically isn't Dragon Engine, that's true. This is true. Seek the Temple of Torvis, more knowledge awaits you there. And I guess technically, like, Kiwami 3 could also be a part of our discussion, but maybe that would be better served as, like, its own thing. I don't think I'm going to play that day one, just because February is already so stacked. With DQ7, and RE9, stuff like that, so... And plus I'm just, I don't know, I'm just kind of skeptical, more skeptical of RGG these days. I haven't been playing the games for that long, but like, in terms of their current era, you know? Alright, so... Yes, that's undoubtedly the way that we want to go. Right. For next time. Oh my god. Yeah, so maybe I was wrong. Maybe this... I think I was actually incorrect. I think that this is probably the way to Torvis then. Because I do remember there being like a decent amount of lead up. And maybe you get super missiles on the way too or something? Maybe? Oh, I can't... How does that make sense? Wait, what? So I can't use the save? Huh. I've been in stasis chambers where the rest of the Luminoth are. Okay, well, I mean, there's not access to the save room again for some reason. Maybe this closed off once I... Okay, so we'll push ahead to the next save, and then I'll call it, I guess. It's a little awkward. I would imagine there's one close by. Nice. Semi-close by, at least. Also, I wonder why there's like a weird lag on OBS whenever these elevator transitions happen. It's a little strange. The amber, what's it called? Doors. Okay, you need super missiles to head back to the landing site, unfortunately. Which would be my closest save. Yeah. I really don't... I don't know. I guess if we enter Torvis and I just use that save room that's at the entrance, it's not the biggest deal. But I kind of wanted to save the mystery for next time, you know? Because, yeah, this is Super Missile Door, although... Boom, 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 boom. There's a portal. Yeah, I think we get super missiles, like, shortly. So another option is to get super missiles and backtrack to the landing site, which is, like, a little out of the way, but... yeah, I'm down. I'm down. Kind of brainstorm some ideas. Because, you know, I kind of... after those Teleus videos took me fucking forever. Mostly just because I was busy with other stuff, not because they were, like, that time-consuming of projects on their own, but... at the same time, like, I mostly have, like, kind of smaller videos planned, relatively speaking, going forward, so... or at least, you know, for, like, my next couple of videos. Okay. So, getting some larger, like, long-term plans kind of set in place would be good. Of course, I'll likely do a video on Prime 4 at some point, but I want time to, like, ruminate on it and stuff. Even after I play it. Okay, I remember this. I do remember this. I don't remember how to, like... I don't remember how to, like... activate this, but we obviously bombed these segments. I'm just trying to remember... ah, here we go. Yeah. I think I might have skipped one by accident. Yeah, I skipped this first one like a dumbass. Whoops. Yakuza like a dumbass. Oops. Come on now. Come on now. Boom, 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 boom. Hold down here, nice. Nice little pretty Half-Life 2 vibes. Or is it? No, Half-Life 1, I'm dumb. I'm not super familiar with those games. I've mentioned name-dropping them a lot, but I wasn't really, like, that into those games when I tried them out, but that's more so because I'm just not really a big first-person shooter guy, by and large. Which might seem strange because I'm literally playing one right now, but I feel like these games are like yes, they're first-person shooters, but it's like not really what they're about. Right? There's more going on than just like running and gunning sort of deal. I don't want to say there aren't other first-person shooters that are similar, but it's just like they kind of aren't in the same way, at least. From what I understand, at least. In terms of being, like, you know, Metroidvanias and shit. And I guess, like, there has been the argument of, like, the Prime games aren't Metroidvanias because they're not flexible, but it's like, well, but you're still finding upgrades and, you're still finding upgrades that allow you to access new paths and stuff like that. How is it not killing, though? Maybe these guys are weak to light beam, then. Yeah, I think that's what it was. Yeah, that's out of the way. What am I supposed to do now? Okay, I guess I just follow the path, right? Okay, that kind of destroyed them. A super missile door. Another light beam thing. Okay, yeah, this gives us access to... Oh, that was a weird physics thing. Little taste of how slow water traversal is. I should be using my beams to get more ammo. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, let's get some more ammo here. Unfortunately, that was like a little bit not clean. To Torva's Bog. Man, I don't want to spoil the Torva's Bog intro, but like I don't really have a choice unless I want to go back to my previous save. I made enough progress at this point where I'm like, yeah, we'll just enter Torvis, save, and leave the majesty of this area for next time. Give you guys something to look forward to, as well as myself. Oh, well, I was a little bit late for that. This place is so cool. Love it. It's almost like that moment of like, this is where the real game kind of begins, for lack of a better way to put it. I just want more light, or more dark ammo, ideally. I know this is a save room over here. Get a little bit more light ammo. Yeah, seems like a good stopping point. Nice, pretty stocked up. We'll make a save, and we will explore Torvis Bog in the next one.